to Silicon Valley Impact, where business insight meets startup innovation. Brought to you live from Silicon Valley, California. Please give a warm welcome to your host, Brian Sparks.
Very nice, Brian.
It's a
very nice. I love how you got in. I love how you got in on that camera for the YouTubers.
You know, I mean, if you're on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see me.
Yeah.
Right. I'm part of the deal here. I'm part of the ecosystem here at Silicon Valley Impact, and I want to take my moment in the sun.
I love the nostril lead. How you really get up in there. It's great. So if you were,
So if you're that should be my profile photo right there.
You know it's coming.
Yeah.
At that point, you know it's coming.
Yes, indeed. You know it's coming.
Intro feels like a UFC intro instead of a tech show.
Well, what we didn't tell you about the show is that this is actually going to turn into an octagon in a second. We're going to go full brawl, all four of us.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. Like off the walls and everything. Place is going full rock star hotel room.
You are the ring buffer. What's the guy's first name? Buffer, the famous. Let's get ready.
Was it Mike? I don't know what his name was.
I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking to.
So
who you're talking about.
Yeah, Brian is definitely that guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Brian,
moving on.
Let's move on. We've got a lot of cool stuff happening. If you were in the East Bay last week, we were kicking off the Open Claw events, and so we got a lot more.
How did that go? I wanted to go and I couldn't.
Yeah, we had well over 400 people register and had a lively discussion. Our guests, there was Marcus Sawyer. He was there.
Yep.
Had a few other people.
Who was a guest on the show just recently.
Who was a guest on the show.
Yep.
And we had a great conversation. We had U.com in the house. So I want to thank Marianne Becker for setting that up. Had a great list of engineers. Eddie was there. And we're going to be doing more. We're going to be doing hackathons. We have one coming up this Thursday. We have another Women in AI and Building coming up next week. And we're going to be doing some master classes on how to build out these agents because, Brian, it's really a game changer.
Is this all happening at Stack?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It'll all be happening at...
Just a little Pavlovian clue there for later.
For later, you know it's coming. All right, so we'll be advertising.
That's cool. You guys are doing some exciting stuff. We also have coming up Transform in Vegas. So our friends over at Transform will be in Vegas. I believe that's March 23rd through the 26th. So if you're into HR talent, which is very much important when it comes to building teams, you're going to want to be involved with that. Did you mention HR?
HR?
As in Morales HR? Or?
As in
Just kidding. I'm just
a little bit later.
I'm just goofing. All right. A little bit later.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And so let's welcome everybody to the show. Well, I want to welcome everybody to Silicon Valley Impact. I'm your host, Brian Sparks. That is the good man, Brian Bernasconi, over there on the mic.
Hi, everybody.
The purpose of the show.
Hey, I'm sorry, before you go to the purpose of the show.
Yeah.
Since I got everybody here, if you're watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. We're really going to keep hammering this until you guys just do it. Just get it done. Just hit it now. Just be done with it. Just check it off your list, and then we'll leave you alone.
And the like button as well.
And the like button as well, yeah. And
Benny,
follow.
Thank you, Benny. Benny knows what he's talking about.
He even goes so far as to share. Share it with 10 of your best friends. Everybody wants to know. I mean, you're doing them a favor.
Yeah.
Right? It's like giving them flowers.
All right,
moving on. Purpose of the show, Brian.
Well done, Brian.
Thank you.
The purpose of this show is to have honest conversations about what it takes to build great businesses and communities so that you can make an impact within your own. Very nice.
Very nice.
And just a reminder, coming up at the end of April, we have the IIT 2026 IIT 2026 conference. You can learn more at IIT2026.org. AJ Thomas and myself are going to be hosting that event. It's a 4-day event. We have some great speakers. And what's really cool, because we're so high now on this agentic and AI building, the agentic building wave, NVIDIA is going to be down there giving a workshop, so you're not going to want to miss that. Go to, again, IIT2026.org. And NVIDIA is not a sponsor of the show, but I had to say that is going to be a very informative workshop, so go check it out. It's in Newport.
But maybe they should be.
but maybe they should be.
Yeah.
They will be. This era, Brian.
Yeah.
If you, and most of us remember when websites first came out, when the internet boomed, this is that kind of inflection point, I believe, that if you don't get on the agentic and how to build these agents to help you in your day-to-day activity, if you have a business, it's like not getting on the internet wave and having a website. It's similar to that. And we saw so many companies fall behind the curve on that. But that is the era we're in now. And so you're definitely going to learn more about that.
Yeah. I got another kind of analogy is like when iPhone come out, like people who are so using the BlackBerry, like kind of that feeling.
Or rotary phone.
Yeah. People are now switching to iPhone.
Yeah. That's a good, and that's the era we're in. So again, if you want to learn more about that, go to iit2026.org. With that being said, I want to bring in two great individuals who I love having here, Ryan and Benny. Good to have you both. In true Silicon Valley impact fashion, I do not do bios, so I will let you two introduce yourself to our wonderful audience. Benny, I'll let you go first. Kick us off.
Awesome to be here and super glad. And a little bit of background about myself.
Give me your full name.
Benny Liao.
Yeah, we know you in here, but you know.
Do you want to try to pronounce my last name?
Liao.
Oh yeah, you're doing great.
You just said it. I just copied it.
You're doing great.
And it's a Chinese last name, right? What's the actual Chinese character?
Liao. Liao.
Yes, but which character? Liao has many different characters, right?
Character, you mean how do you write it?
Yeah. Well, what's the meaning behind it?
Oh, the meaning. Gosh, I don't know.
Okay, is it like a region, like a Liao Chao? So it's referring to like the Liao dynasty, which is like part of the Song
like
dynasty.
most of the Liao, the last name, it looks like that. I'll show you later.
Okay, all right, yeah.
All right, so
because you know why I was teasing you? Because I'm recently watching a lot of YouTube clip about Elisa Liao. And a lot of people couldn't pronounce
Leo or Liao.
Elisa Liao. And a lot of people cannot pronounce her last name. Like Elisa Liu, Elisa Liu, you know.
Yeah.
But I think your pronunciation is great. Yeah.
Well, ask me again in an hour and we'll see.
Okay.
I may call you last name Kennedy or something.
Yeah, you're like, what's going to change in an hour there, Brian? I have no idea. You're going to learn Chinese in an hour?
Yeah. All right, so go ahead and give a little background on what you're working on. Again, so excited for you guys to be here.
Sure. Maybe I'll kick off. I'm Benny. I'm a two-time founder turned VC investor. My first startup company was back in China. I was running my own credit card blog platform in China where I teach people how to hack their credit card perks, maximize the value, how to play around with the airline miles, hotel points, etc.
I'm still struggling with this kind of problem.
Oh yeah. At that time, I owned more than 100 credit cards under my name.
What? Wow.
Yeah, but that business didn't work out, so I pivoted to my second company, which was a fintech platform, company based out of Indonesia, Jakarta, and scale from 0 to more than 140 people, both in China and Indonesia. And we were profitable from the first year.
Keep going, yeah, because never mind what Brian's doing. He's wandering about the cabin.
Got it. And ran that company for around 5 years. Got an exit in 2021, and now I'm becoming a VC investor.
Nice.
Working for a fund we're called Acorn Pacific Ventures, based in San Mateo, and we do early stage. I'm pretty much leading all the AI effort at Acorn. Series A. Most of our portfolio are in the enterprise software world.
So we're going to have a lot to talk about with both of you. I mean, and Ryan, I want you to go next. But again, the capacity to sit on both sides of the table and understand this game is going to be invaluable. So I'm excited to kind of go down that rabbit hole with both of you. But Ryan, again, introduce yourself to our audience and let them know what you're working on.
Yeah, great. Thanks for the invitation, Brian, and great meeting everyone. My name is Ryan Wang. And I'm pretty sure you can pronounce my last name correctly, but
I might butcher your first name, Brian, Ryan. I don't know if I'm going to get that right.
But do you know the meaning behind this last name? I'm sure you know. The meaning of Wang.
It's no.
It means king.
Yeah.
Right.
You knew that, Brian?
I did.
Come on, you got to save me on that one. Okay.
I thought that the question was being asked of you, and I enjoyed watching you struggle.
Yeah, you
Right,
saw. I was looking. Okay, no, it means king. Okay,
It means king. And also, my Chinese name is called Wang Yan, and the Yan is Y-A-N, so it's like Ryan without the R. So kind of like, Ryan is a good resemble of my Chinese name as well. And the Yan is like a triple fire stacked together. So I'm essentially, my Chinese name is King of Fire.
A lot of fire.
nice.
Yes.
I don't have a great story like that. There's sparks, but I'm sure I can come up with one. But
like in all seriousness, professionally, I started my career as an investment banker in New York City after my education with New York University. So after spending roughly 5 years, first with Citigroup, then with a French bank called Société Générale, in 2015. I moved from New York City to SF and become a venture capitalist. So for the past 11 years or so, I've been managing multiple funds, mostly across mostly around this early stage investment area, and mostly focused on what I call as frontier technology, right? But you see, now people are using frontier tech or deep tech very generically, right? So back in the days, I started looking into a lot of deals in the VR, AR, computer vision type of companies. 2017 started picking up blockchain and crypto, been doing a lot of ICOs, catching part of the early stage of the ICO trend up there. And, as things goes along, being looking to the other part of the frontier technology sectors like AI, robotics. I also have some portfolio companies in space technology, aviation, renewables as well. So today, I mostly spend my time on two funds. One fund is called Outpost Capital. It's a fund I co-founded roughly 10 years ago, doing early stage frontier tech investments. And another fund that I've been spending a lot of time on is called Solaris Venture Partners. It's half private equity, half venture capital. The private equity side, we focused on looking to opportunities in the AI infra and data center space, right? Looking to the land, the power, the off-takers, putting together deals like that, and have run the operation for like 3-4 years, and then look for some exit opportunities. The VC side for Solaris, we are in the process of launching a new fund, a $100 million fund focused on robotics investment. In particular, I think this year for physical AI and robotics, I'm very, very bullish on these sectors. I think it's a year where everything starts to come together, where we see the first wave of industrial adoptions. And I think, it's going to, make a huge impact starting from here. So very, very bullish on that.
So if I had to ask both of you this, and Benny, I'll start with you, because Ryan, you both tapped on a lot. If I said, hey, I got a TEDx spot for you in 5 minutes, of all the things that you've done, whether it's investment banking, VC, the VC space, starting your own business, or wait, neither one of you are Olympians, are you, or anything like that? Yeah,
not yet.
We were talking. The reason why I asked that is because Chima was in here last week, and we found out that he was an Olympic boxer, and we didn't even tap into that, but had to ask that. What would your topic be? Like, out of all the things that you've worked on, what's your sweet spot? What do you love talking about? Benny, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I think my favorite topic will talk about the ugly truth of become a founder.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you're smiling. So you're smiling through the wounds, or you're.
Yeah, I'm leaning in. Let's get ugly here for a second. Yeah. Let's hear it.
Yeah, we'll get that.
Yeah, it brings me the memory back when I was starting my first company, the credit card thing. Oh, by the way, I was also an investment banker. That was my first job. I was employed by UBS investment bank at the time.
In New York City, or which one?
In Hong Kong.
In
Hong Kong.
Right.
And in investment banking, is super easy for you to get a credit card.
Yeah.
And I still remember when I first got my Amex Platinum card. That was the day the first day when I started to get down the rabbit hole of the perks.
You throw that on the table, you're saying something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, which year was that?
That was 2012.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Oh,
graduated.
you are very early in the Amex Platinum war.
Maybe they run the program for a couple of years already. I mean, that's the first thing we do when we got into the office.
Right.
You know, those Amex sales to just come into our table and ask you to fill out the form.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when I first got the credit card, and then there's like tons of perks. You probably couldn't imagine is you can get as much as 50% off when you're going out for some like specific
They pull you
restaurant.
in.
Yeah, you get 50% off. And then I was like, oh my God, this is such a good deal. And then they give you like
It'd be foolish not to use it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then I started to read all the perks. Okay, it's like Monday, I go to this restaurant, I got 50% off. Tuesday, the other restaurant. And then Wednesday, maybe if I shop online, I get like 3x my points.
Sunday, 50,000 in debt.
Yeah.
And at least you are happy Monday through Saturday.
Oh yeah. Yeah. After a month, you'll be struggle for sure.
Yeah.
Right,
But
yeah.
and also the amazing part is you probably know is the credit card points is so valuable when you're converting to airline miles. So I've been using my car for just as short as a year.
And this is where your first idea for the business kind of hit you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I want to get that is like after a year of spending using the same car, all my personal airline trips are all for free. And it's business class. It's not economy class. And like I took my family to Taiwan, to Malaysia, Singapore. It's all for free. And this gives me a new door for me. I was like, what the hell is going on in this industry? Like how are other people, do they know about this? And this kind of like getting the story started. And I feel like, and I started to talk to my colleagues, friends around me. Hey, do you know you can get like a free business class by just applying this Amex
You
card?
learned all the tricks of the trade.
I learned all the tricks.
But you still need to spend a lot, right?
Not
in order to
really.
earn.
Not really.
Not
If you use the
really.
tricks good enough, at that time I have my own Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Like at that time, there's no Google Calendar.
Yeah.
Well, finish up because I definitely want to go down how you came about with your first business and ultimately your second. And I want to know the ups and downs of how that felt. But you were saying that, that high level, the pain points of a founder would be kind of like where you sit.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to tease the audience a little bit with that, and we're going to come back to that. But really quick, Ryan, TED Talk in 5 minutes. What would your title be? What would your focus be?
This is such a good question. I was taking a shower a couple of days ago, and I was thinking about, exactly almost the same thing, right? I feel like, oh, hey, the topic of my tech talk should be something like the history of our future. Why this topic? Because I feel like right now we're living such interesting time where just within the recent 2 to 3 years, I feel like a lot of things I read in like, different kind of science fiction books or, movies, TVs is becoming a reality, right? So I remember, one of the like, I'm a sci-fi fan, a big sci-fi fan. Right?
Wait, I got to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Neither.
Oh,
Right.
Wait,
curveball.
What?
That was a curveball. I didn't see that coming. Okay,
Yeah,
what?
I didn't see that one coming either.
You see, I think both Star Trek and Star Wars is kind of like a traditional story wrapped up in a futurist kind of setting, right? Alienated setting. So I love the kind of sci-fi that's kind of based on the
Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, but I think I know where this is going. You're trying to stay mainstream here, Brian, and I think Ryan is going non-mainstream. Is where we're headed.
All right, go ahead.
Semi-mainstream. So I think like Interstellar, right? It's,
the movies.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, huge fan. Also Inception, right? And also some of the recent sci-fi that I watched. And
You
I
love the
feel-
psychology of it all.
I like the psychology, and I also like the scientific facts and scientific grounds where some of the hardcore sci-fi is based off, right?
So you said the history of our future.
The History of Our Future.
Okay.
Which by the way, would be a great TED Talk title.
Yeah.
I think that catches the attention of people.
Yeah.
Right.
Cycles.
So I say go with it. I'm greenlighting it.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you, Brian. Right. So I give you an example of how I feel is kind of shocked by what's happening today, right? So, we've been all using like ChatGPT, different AI tools for like 3+ years, right? Since the ChatGPT first come out. So nowadays we are very used to how AI is having like this all kind of generative feature, can create images, can create videos, and can kind of like create stories on its own.
Yeah.
I remember like roughly 6 or 7 years ago, there was a show on HBO called Westworld, and probably in the beginning of season 3, it's in the company. The writers are basically telling the story to the computer, and then the computer are like generating the image and the characters, and also creating this whole simulation of the story in real time, while the author, the storyteller, is telling the computer what kind of story to tell, right?
I think having a conversation with you on emotional intelligence would be fascinating.
Yeah.
You love that stuff. So you love the way the mind can be bent by possibilities.
I think so.
Yeah. I love that.
Right.
So we're definitely going to come back to that. And we're going to geek out on that.
Sure.
However, Brian, I think we have a quick message before we go a little bit further.
Sure. Is this the time?
Yeah, I sensed it. It was in the air.
Brian, I want to talk to you, as you probably know, about Moralis HR.
Please let us know.
Right? I think that Moralis HR, talent obviously is your biggest competitive advantage. Right? We all know this.
Yeah.
But only if you hire right. And so at Moralis HR, it's a human-centered recruiting and executive search firm built for today's business demands, delivering curated and high-quality talent when it matters most. Say it with me, Brian. When it matters most.
I'm with you.
From full-time to contract roles across North America, Moralis HR connects you to the talent your company needs. These are real people. These are people with real experience, and you get real results.
Pound that table, Brian. Let them know.
I'm hoping that it comes through. So if you're falling behind on hiring, frustrated by low-quality candidates, or if you're worried about fake resumes or fake candidates, you want to go to Moralis HR and hire there. MoralisHR.com, a better way to hire. And just so you know, Brian, on the screen, if you're watching on YouTube, I've got Moralis HR's website on the screen.
For you YouTube viewers.
For just a second. Yeah, and I've got a little bit of a frog in my throat.
No, it sounds great.
Yeah, great, thank you.
That was even better.
I got my cough out underneath the heart.
All right, well, thank you. We're back. Yeah, thank you, Shelley.
And back to our regular program.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, what do you guys think? That's our live.
Did I drive it home? Did I deliver?
Yes.
Nice. Well done.
So. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so first 20 minutes, we've talked from a high level of what you guys are passionate about, learned a little bit about your history, the future of our history, a little bit about. So I have to ask the question.
The history of our future.
Okay, sorry. I put the cart before the horse. I'll get it right. But I have to ask a question really quick.
I think the history of the future of our history would also actually be a good TED Talk at this point. I got it.
You just blew my mind. You just blew my mind. You just blew my mind.
All right, carry on.
I got to ask a question really quick before we kind of back, because I want to actually know how you guys talked about being in investment banking, doing your startups, and being VCs now. Like, what got you into this? We're going to talk about that. Bounce around. I love the fact that you guys are bouncing around, asking each other questions. But for our audience, I know we got a lot of founders, who are listening. Mm-hmm. I got to ask you two questions. One also for the other VCs that are listening, because now there's this wave in Silicon Valley of new VCs. The first question is, put on your VC hat. What does a fundable company look like to you? And then the second question, we'll obviously come back to this, is what are some strategies to raising capital? Because we're coming into an era where it's not just who you know, but what value you bring first to the ecosystem. So, Benny, I'll start with you really quick, and of course, then Ryan, I'm going to kick the same question to you. Mm-hmm. What does a fundable company look like to you?
When I meet a company, I will ask them 3 questions first. If I couldn't get a yes for those 3 questions, it's a pass. The first one is it a real problem that you're trying to solve? One of the analogy I learned from your podcast, I think it's a good analogy, is
I like that.
Yeah, I want to see the problem as a painkiller, not a vitamin. So that's the number one question. And the second one question is, I call it the problem founder fit. To give you example is, I would like to see the founder who has been working in the industry for a decent amount of time or long enough time so that he can really understand the pain points, what's going on, the upstream, the downstream, what's the ecosystem look like, in order for him or her to build a product to solve the issue. So actually the first 2 questions are kind of like connected. You have to be in the industry long enough in order to observe or to find out a painkiller problem.
Right.
And the third question is about the business model. So my favorite type of business model is you're building a product and this product can be embedded in your customer's workflow automatically. Because this makes yourself hard to be kicked out. Your customer switching cost is high enough. And then once you're in their workflow, you're keep generating the data, the prop data, and then this data feedback to your model, to your product, and your product gets smarter. So these 3 questions I will always ask or trying to find out from the founder's mind. If they don't have a perfect answer, it's a pass for me.
Yeah, it's nice of you that you ask it directly. What problem are you solving? Because I kind of I give them a bait and switch. I'll ask them what keeps you up at night. And if they start telling me about all the features in their startup, I know that they're product focused. But if they start or even embed in their answer, I'm obsessed about the problem and I don't care how I get there. I just want to solve it. That is the person I want to learn more about.
Exactly.
How can I impact the world with this? And that's how you do that. All right, Ryan.
And sorry, just to add a little bit is right now it's a lot of tool that you can leverage to build a product. So if you're a founder that you're holding a hammer and then to find the problem to
the nail,
smack the nail
in the dark,
it's not cool enough.
That's such a good point. So again, if you're listening, lean in on that. Those 3 points, those are going to get you second conversations, right? And then you're going to start to do due diligence. Then you can really unpack the features and what makes you unique and go down that rabbit hole. But those on the surface are great criteria in order to get yourself a second conversation. Ryan, with you, same thing. What gives you the yes to a second conversation?
Right. I mostly echo what Benny has just mentioned, but with a slightly tweak as well. So I think, fundamentally, especially in the early stage VC investment arena, it's all about people, right? So regarding to what Benny mentioned, the founder problem fit, I think that's essential, right? And also for any particular problem they are solving, any product they are building, if we dive very, very deep in that particular niche, in that particular vertical, there are always different ways to prove whether this particular group of people, these 3-4 founders, whether they are the world's best people to solve this particular problem or not, right? So I think, this is something that I highly, highly value. And, at the end of the day, early stage investment to me is all about making the right bet on the right people, which lead to the first argument that Benny mentioned, whether this is solving a real problem or whether this is a painkiller or this is a vitamin, right? So I think, I understand a lot of logics where, you got to solve a problem that is real. And a lot of founders are in their own world. They can be a little bit hallucinated into solving a unreal problem, which goes nowhere eventually, right? Hard to monetize. But I think this kind of narrative is kind of shifting a little bit in the AI era, where a lot of things are not solving existing problems, but to create new opportunities, right? So it's not making a band-aid to the history, but build a better version of possibilities for the future, right? So a great example here, I think, let's say something that's kind of very viral nowadays is what we call as world models, right? World foundation models. Fei Li is working on that with World Labs. Yang LeQuan, after he quit his jobs from Meta, he's launching AMI, right? Advanced Material Intelligence. And Google Genius has been a pioneer. Tencent, Alibaba, their foundation model team all made pretty good progress in that direction. So world models and building out this kind of large scale world simulation and allow AI to understand fundamentally the physical world instead of just try to understand from the language perspective, but understand real world physics, understand real world reasoning, causality, right? All these kind of things. These are not a band-aid to the past. These are creating possibility for the future. So I think I think especially in the frontier investment category, we can not only look into what's fixable in today's world, we also need to look into what kind of future can we create that will advance.
Would you agree that? I got it, because you bring up a great point, because a lot of investors, and again, we can debate this for everybody to hear this, is they'll ask about why now. Because if it's exactly what you're saying, Ryan, where this is a great opportunity for this inflection in technology, the builder or the founder needs to ask why now. We had Bill Reichert in here, and he was a part of the team with the, I believe, I'm probably going to butcher it, but it's an example anyway, nonetheless, about with the iPad early on before Apple, but the timing wasn't there. And so he tells the story of, and Bill, if you're listening and I'm butchering this, forgive me, but this is the general idea. It's this, then when Jobs came along, Steve Jobs came along and he pushed it for Apple, the timing was right. So what you're saying is that if this is, not necessarily a painkiller, which is often what we look for all the time, we need to look for the timing of the opportunity. And there's where you as the investor need to have an area of expertise as well. And if you're a founder, would be imperative for you to look for investor fit. So I love the fact that you're bringing this up from a holistic perspective on timing, and for the investor and the innovator to see if there's a good match for each other. So I love that. So how do you drill down? I mean, obviously timing is right now for agents and moving forward in that respect. But how would you first ask that question, why now? And then what would you look for in terms of a response?
Right. This is such a good question. And I feel like after being in the venture space for 11 years, I have a lot of bitter lessons learned.
Lessons.
So,
we're talking about pain now, Benny, so you can chime in at any point.
Sure. Love to.
Like when I first get into the venture space, that's like 2015, early 2015 and 2014, like Facebook just acquired Oculus for $2 to $3 billion. That kind of kick off the entire VR/AR industry. And we know what happened for the past decade, right? The industry has been through a lot of rise and fall, and rise with, COVID, metaverse, everything, and fall, today. It still feels like the industry is, it has evolved a long way compared to 10 years ago, but it still have a long road ahead as well. So I think, one of the lessons I learned through all these up and downs and what people's expectation and forcing expectation and how I can translate these kind of lessons learned into a pragmatic way of making investment decisions. I always ask myself and also the founder this one particular question, right? So, you plan to do this, and this is your game plan if everything goes well, right? $1 billion company, conquer the world, whatever. How many assumptions are out there for that to become a reality, right? So if the number of assumptions are, 1 or 2 assumptions, I think that's manageable. That means, hey, the timing feels right. But if there are too many assumptions, right? 3, 5 different assumptions, we need like, the industry to get to this point. We need the consumer to get to introducing a new behavior, to the consumers. We need the upstream, right, the supplier to make the new generation of their things. So if there are too many assumptions,
that's such a good question. I'm really slowing it down in my mind, because if you can understand the assumptions, you can understand the objections, and then at least have some sort of response that shows a well thought out market strategy or business model to match that. And does that de-risk for you, both of you, in terms of hearing why this company and why you? Is that kind of like your objective in answering that having them answer that question?
Yes, and typically I think there are a lot of well-rounded team, but even for a very well-rounded team, they can only do one or two things very, very well, better than anyone else.
And this is where you find the holes.
This is where you bridge the gap. So you have maybe like 10 different assumptions, and you validate 8 out of the 10 assumptions. There are 2 remaining, and this particular team happened to be the best problem solver for this 1 or 2 assumptions.
That's so good, Benny. Jump in on this. Tell me how you de-risk. So this is like a further down the line conversation, but you're thinking. It's like a chess game, right? You're thinking down the road, and as you're thinking down the road in terms of de-risking a company. And getting as much certainty out of them as you possibly can that they're the right company to be your portfolio. How do you kind of frame the questions and need to knows as you move through that due diligence conversation?
I mean, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's but I think it's a good question. I don't have a like perfect answers, but normally when.
But I'll put you back in the sweet spot then. Let me ask you this: you talked about your TED Talk would be on pain. Obviously, there were some like misalignments on your assumptions. What were some of the pain points as a founder early on that you experienced? And then go even as far as maybe dropping one on us about when that moment hit you that this isn't working.
Yeah.
And you had to let go. So that entire journey, from this perspective, where would you draw out that answer of assumptions you made as a founder? Because this is a perfect segue into seeing it from both sides of the table.
Yeah. Like, I remember when I was a founder, there's always the same pattern happens. Is like, one day I feel like, okay, I'm going to conquer the world with my product. And the next day, my mentality might become, I probably should get a job, go find a job. Yeah. So like being a startup founder is always like up and down. And the top 3 things I always keep in the middle of the night is where's the money gonna come from? Where's the capital come from? And second is how can I hire the best talents out there? And number 3, because we were this is refer back to when I was like doing fintech startup in Indonesia, and will my asset blow up? Will I lose all the money in one night? So all these kind of like I call it like nightmare keep me like awake in the middle of the night. But like one thing I learned right from those experiences is you have to keep. I learned a lot about resistance from the founders.
Resilience.
Yeah. You have to trust what you're building. You have to trust this is like self-fulfilling prophecy. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
You have to keep telling yourself, we're gonna get the money, we're gonna hire the best talents, and we're gonna make profit.
Yeah. Steve Jobs called it reality distortion thinking, right? Something like that.
So I think this is like the hardest thing I learned. And maybe I'll share another like a funny story. Like most of the I think most of the founders in America probably won't have this kind of issue, is because I was like doing startup in Indonesia, and Indonesia is famous for corruption. And when we're doing fintech, we touch a lot of money every day, a lot of transaction. And when you become bigger, the powerful people will notice about that, and they want to take a cut. So at that time, we constantly having the local law enforcement people coming to our office and invite our manager to their office, check their visas, check their like, are you like, because we got some like, we send some of our like mid-level manager from China to Indonesia to manage the local team. So those like law enforcement keep coming to our office and invite them back to their office and making them not able to come to the office next day. So we encounter a lot of like this kind of issue. So Indonesia is like, you have the opportunity, a lot of like great opportunity on the side, but a lot of risk on the other side. So this makes me like mentally stronger, because you have to deal a lot of, you're not just managing your P&L. You have to manage a lot of like local relationship. I think this is the good thing I learned, because if you're starting a company in America, probably you won't have that problems. But
so relationship mattered. I mean, really, really mattered, and how you navigated that. And there's clearly that you know, and this is what years and years ago that you're describing. Hate for you to go back to Indonesia and somebody waiting on you, but this is years and years ago, and I know a lot of people are doing more and more business in Indonesia now. But there's still this importance of managing people. There's still this capacity to recruit talent, to have difficult conversations, because when you're starting a startup, you're not to overuse this word, but you're disrupting something. You're doing it better, faster, cheaper, in whatever angle that's coming from, and it's going to ruffle feathers. I mean, for lack of a better example, if the cops aren't showing up or someone isn't paying attention to you, then you're not hitting that mark, right? You're not disrupting enough, and then why would I invest in that? Because you're not advancing it. But still, the capacity to be resilient in those ups and downs and manage people, manage yourself, manage your team, and geez, let's not forget managing family. If you have it, that's got to be so difficult. Is really down to now this founder fit that you both are talking about, and we hear a lot about here on the show. So you make a lot of assumptions as a founder, and you have to be a little delusional at times to bend your reality around the challenges that you have. Yeah. All right, Brian, I see you giving me the look. I'm hearing it's about that time. Hold that thought, fellas. We'll be right back. I got something important to say about Stack Ventures. And so, Brian, did you know?
No, tell me.
Okay, let me tell you. And for all you listening, Stack Ventures is transforming real estate into a full stack ecosystem solutions for East Bay, residency, and global startups, backed by Baring Capital. Located in the heart of Uptown Oakland at 1900 Broadway and 1950 Franklin, Stack Space has 2 towers and a data center. Do you guys know that? We now have a data center.
Oh, you have your own data center.
Yeah.
Oh, huh.
Yeah. It's amazing. Come check it out.
Yeah.
All right. So Stack Space has 2 towers, make that 3, with over 1.5 million square feet of luxury living, event space, resort style amenities, EV mobility, office space, and access to the biggest startup community in the Bay Area. Check out stackspace.com. That's STAK, stackspace.com.
I am looking at the photos here of the amenities at Stack in Oakland, and
The 39th floor. I just saw that up there.
I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention all the things that they're doing. This is just the physical space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good job, Brian.
Thanks.
Well done, man.
Yeah. 2 thumbs up from the fellas.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And we're also building out the Oakland Claw space for you builders. So stay tuned to that.
The Oakland Claw space.
The Oakland Claw.
Do you want to elaborate on that at all?
So
or?
Oakland Claw is a play on word for open claw.
I knew there was something
Builders,
there. Yeah, I
agent
knew
builder.
there was something.
Yeah. So think about it. For those of you who don't know, we were saying this earlier. I don't know if the mics were running yet, but think about it as back in the 90s when you had to build your own website or have it built for you, and you weren't going to be able to thrive without it. We're helping people build agents and get insight onto how to do that and accelerate what they're doing. So, all right, the more you know. All right, let's get back into it. We were talking about some of the pain points. We were talking about startups. We're kind of jumping around all over the place because, again, having Benny and Ryan here is a wealth of information. I want to jump on as many topics as possible. But let me ask you guys this question. You're both investors, investing. It's great to be able to deploy cash, right? But getting cash. Let's talk about raising for a little bit. So whether you're a founder or you're even a VC, I want to talk about the skill set of building trust, providing a thesis or a strategy good enough to ask for millions, if not hundreds of millions. What has gone into your raise strategy, either from a founder's perspective or a VC's perspective, that we can geek out on momentarily? Like, what are those top 3 things or one thing that comes to mind to effectively raise?
Sure.
Benny, I'll start with you.
Yeah, maybe I'll put my answer in this way: is like if I can give advice to founder today about fundraising, is don't fundraise when you need the money. Don't take it as you call a friend and you want to borrow a car from them.
Don't shop when you're hungry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because especially for the early stage investment, like building like this is my take. Building relationship really matters when it comes to fundraise. So I will advise the founders today that just hang out with some of the potential investors you think they can be a fit to your next fundraising in a year-long time. Yeah. Start to having conversation, tell them what you're building, and then also like try to write a monthly or quarterly update email, making sure the investor that you like or you think can be a fit are on the email list. A lot of investment I made are through that process. Like I first met a founder, I feel, okay, this is interesting, but maybe too early for us, too early for me. I say, hey, let's keep in touch. And then in the next couple of months, I keep receiving the monthly or quarterly update. I can see the progress that they're having, like maybe more customers.
Because you want to see the capacity to execute. You don't want them just to come to you and talk to you. You want to see a track record of execution. That's why, I mean, that's not only why traction is important, because that's the stat sheet, but you want to see them, what actions they're taking on a continuous basis.
Exactly. So a lot of founders I meet, I feel they're taking fundraising as a transaction rather than a long-term relationship building. It might be that case for later stage. I'm talking about maybe Series C, Series D, because you're dealing with the super like bigger institution investor. They're like professional. They're not, because VC, early stage VC, they're also founder as well. They're running their own, like Ryan, he's running his own fund. He's also the founder, right? But late stage, you're probably dealing with the real professional. So traction is 99% for them to making the decision. But early stage, pre-seed, seed, Series A, most of the time you're dealing with the GP themselves. So it matters a lot for you to build like early relationship with them.
Oh, that's such good advice, Ryan. Double click on any of that, add to it. And even give it from the perspective of a VC, because they raise too, just as much as the founder does. Where do you jump in on this?
Definitely, yeah, totally agree with whatever Benny just mentioned. And I think investment, especially among the early stage investment, can be very, very personal, right? So on one hand, you want to make sure that the founder has the track record and you have enough understanding about this particular founder and his world, right, where he come from, what he's done before, and also you want to make sure that you can work with him, right, and you can trust him. So different kind of social fabrics in this type of relationship will be very meaningful, right? Like, between you and the particular investor, if you have a lot of mutual connections, so the investor can validate you through multi different angles, right? I think that will bring a lot of confidence to the fundraising topic as well. I think to build on top of that, no matter if you are a founder raising for your startup, or if you are a fund manager, if you are a GP raising for your next fund, one of the things that I think we don't talk that much, but I think is essentially almost like critically important is the fundraiser need to show value in multidimensional ways.
Oh, say that again. Amen. Say it again.
So the fundraiser need to show their value in multidimensional ways.
Yes.
So for let's say you are running a startup, right? You are running this business, you want to fundraise for the business. Don't only show the value, hey, this business is gonna go big, right? That's one dimensional. What are some other value that you as an individual can bring to the investors is huge. Right. So I think this is something that's largely ignored by most fundraisers, whether they are running a company or whether they are running a fund. So in the fund example, right, you have your track record, you make money for your LPs before, right? Yeah. That's what happened in the past, right? So that's a business. But in addition to running this fund, what are some other values you can bring to the LPs?
A little do people know, that's my TED Talk question. When I ask them, what would your TED Talk be? I know there's another dormant superpower. And does it have value to anything else that you possibly were creating? So I love that you say that because, again, the capacity to know the game, the intellectual capacity to know the startup game, the investor game, only needs to be so high. It's then the strategy and the value, and that could be synonymous. My value is the strategy. My multi-value strategy is the game. So whether it's relationships, if it's knowing a specific sector that's interesting to people rather than just the money exchange piece, that's a value. If it's, insert anything that may be just an outlier. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah. So, for example, when I meet a lot of founders, if they run a very particular community that I want to get access to, right? Although I may not be so interested in their business on day one, I might want to stay close to them, right? Or, if they are a particular domain expert that I'm interested in that domain, right? So, whatever I want to learn about that domain, I can always refer to him, right? Ask him questions, things like that. Or if there are some other kind of value they can provide, right? So I think it's at the end of the day, investment can be very relationship oriented. Yeah. And when this kind of goes back to Benny's point, right? You don't take it as a transaction, and in addition to this particular transaction, what else can you bring to the table as human to human connections and human to human relationships?
Well, when you put those two together, values, right? The more value you bring, the deeper the relationship.
Yes.
And so the greater the relationship, the greater the value.
Right.
And so when you ask people, hey, what else do you do? Or you look to build trust, it's because people have embedded multiple layers of value and a deeper relationship in the process, hoping to have an experience that's going to then make you both, prosperous in the future.
Yep.
And let me say this too, the long game, and I think, Benny, you agree with this. A lot of founders that are really good, this may not be their first, rodeo. There may be additional opportunities to invest in them, and you want to build that relationship as well. And the same thing with even these fund managers, right? This may not be the only time you tap into them. So again, what you're saying about bringing multiple levels of value is how you deepen the relationship and build trust.
Yeah.
Yeah. So great point.
Just to share a story, just to echo this, the fund that I'm working with right now, we have a portfolio founder. We back him 3 times. And 3 times he brought his company to IPO. And in return, he is also our LP. So this is kind of the long-term relationship, like as Brian mentioned, the value and the relationship. It's like intertwined.
Yeah.
They're very hugely connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I love you guys bring so many different perspectives in this game, because that, again, ups your value. Not only, again, number one, you two are great individuals, humans. And then the fact that you have this rich experience makes you both extremely valuable in this space. And so I got to ask you, one of my favorite questions to ask all my guests and people who I'm just networking with is, what is it about the startup sandbox, this entire ecosystem that you love? Like, what is it that really pops for you? Like, I love investing, startups. This is it. What comes top of mind for you?
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, I was a founder before I came to the US, and also, but like to be honest, like when I made the decision to come to the US, I was thinking to start my next startups. That's what I was planning to do. I was thinking to start another fintech company here. But after I start to meet like incredible founders plus investors here, I changed my mind. I like the passion for me to start my next company. That passion started to fade away, and the energy come from like all the conversation I have with the founder. My energy driver starting to become, hey, can I maybe like share the mistake I made in the past and make them a better founder, like helping them to come out from their challenges. So this is becoming my new like driver and energizer for me, is to, and I feel like, okay, yeah, this is like great company. Maybe I just invest in them, like join their journey as an investor / advisor rather than to start my own company. So this makes me like becoming like more and more like excited about, and then makes me to pivot my idea, shifting my idea from starting my next company to become a VC investor.
And you're loving it.
Yeah.
Ryan, what about you? When I say, what do you love about this? What comes to mind? What comes to heart for you?
Yes. I think being in the Silicon Valley ecosystem in general is a great gateway to access the future, right? So, here you essentially live in the future where you can see, how things will look like in the next 2 to 3 years, how things is possibly to look like in the next decade. And also, what are some of the changes you can do today to impact the trajectory of how the future will evolve, right? So I think this is something that feels very powerful and also very fulfilling, right? Because, I think people live in this world when you can get food on the table and you have family outside all that kind of stuff. How do you feel that you live a fulfilled life? You want to be in an industry that make you feel like impactful, make you feel you are making your mark, right?
Well, it's more than a role. You're creating something.
Exactly.
And taking it to market to make a difference.
Right. And also, this is not like you sit there passively waiting for things to happen, right? So from the days when we don't have internet to the days when internet all of a sudden came over and just kind of push the technology over to the wider population. There's a smaller population that make those things happen, right? Same with what happened with AI, ChatGPT, everything, right? There's a small population that make that happening. So I don't want to sit on the passive side. If you are not in the tech Silicon Valley ecosystem, probably you're on the passive side, right? You are waiting for things to happen. But I want to be on the part that I am making my mark and I am doing my things to bring the future a little bit closer, right? So I want to be on the active side. I love that. And passive side.
That leads me to one of my last questions. And you know what I feel, Brian, what I think we missed out is some of our best guests are immigrants, and we get to hear the story of immigration. because whether you're going from, this is a poor example, but there's a parallel, whether you're immigrating from a role into a startup, there's a big leap. Or you're coming from a country that you were raised in to the US and Silicon Valley, there's a big leap. There's a culture shock. Because we talked earlier about assumptions. And when you assume that, oh, I can make this leap into startup, it's going to be great. It's what everyone does in Silicon Valley. I can do, and you're a little delusional, and you go, then you hit the waves. There is a huge culture shock becoming a founder, becoming an investor, coming to the U.S. But you talked about it earlier, the resilience. You both talked about it in terms of relationships, bringing value, you're giving. I truly believe, and again, I'm a philosopher of this idea of giving to market before you go to market. And that's where the trust is built. And so you two have done that so well. And we didn't get a chance to even dive into the ups and downs of landing in the US, that is so remarkable to me, where your resilience come from. Maybe I'll have you both back and we can talk about that. But I really want to know what's next for you guys. So we talked touched upon a little bit of everything, but what's next for you coming up? Benny, I'll start with you, and then Ryan, I'll pass to you.
I think my next thing is the thing I've already been doing. I really, really enjoy is connecting people, especially connecting the founders I met, especially the one I invested in. Connect them with the much smarter people than I do, and help them to solve their problems. I've been keep doing it every day and building my own community, and then connect like different people from different background, and then to make the founder I believe in and make them successful. So this is I'm going to do it, keep doing it.
Yeah.
And so long as I'm in the Silicon Valley, so long as I am in this ecosystem, this is what
so I gotta bang the drum for Benny here for a little bit, because you were at the Foothill event last week. Ryan, and for those of you who didn't know, we did a pitch and panel, have a big partnership with Foothill College. It's in the heart of Los Altos. So we bring in startups and investors and, a little bit of the segment of the audience. There's students.
Oh, that's the event I texted you and I missed it, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You texted me.
That's the same one.
And so we get a little portion of students there, and then we get the regular ecosystem. It's a free event. We provide food and everything. But one thing I really appreciated about you is you stayed to the end. You shut down with me. You were like one of the last ones out the door. And I love that about the panelists and guests that I have on the show, is they're those ones who walk the walk. And you were both like that very, very much, is that you'll stay to the end where others are looking to kind of like, how can I do that? Roll out and dodge, right? Just kind of disappear. But you stayed and you had conversations. So I really appreciate that. So when you're talking about helping and contributing and coaching, you were there to the bitter end. And I really appreciate you showing up for that.
Thank you. Ryan.
Yeah. So Ryan, same question to you. What's next for you, and what are you excited about coming up?
Like I said in the beginning, this year I'm very focused on robotics. So I think the next opportunity is really to how we can bring AI to the physical world. Because think about it, like AI agents, MCPs, open cloud. AI has been living in the virtual world, right? And in the virtual world, you can do a lot of things, but there are only so much things you can do to impact the physical world. And now with like physical AI, robotics, world model, a lot of things are ready to go to make the physical level impact as well, right? So I think the timing feels right. We have lined up the right resource, the right partners, everything. And I think, this year in particular, I'm very, very passionate about how to bring AI to the physical world.
That's exciting. And is there a place we can go to follow what you're working on and how that's all going for you? Is there a website, or are you on TikTok or anything?
I'm pretty active on LinkedIn.
All right, well, that's good to know. And I'm hearing, again, I'm not providing news, but they're going to stop building the Tesla cars here in Fremont and go all out on the robotics, which is super interesting.
The news is true.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember when the Teslas first emerged, and you go, oh, there goes a Tesla. We're going to see a humanoid walking down the street next, right?
Yeah. And also maybe 10 years down the road, people will remember Tesla as a robotic company instead of a car company.
Yeah.
True.
It's all happening here in Silicon Valley. Well, I want to thank you both for coming again. You both are wonderful people, but how can people connect with you? LinkedIn, what's the best way to people just to keep, follow what you're doing?
Looks like Ryan has been already
Professionally,
been active on
LinkedIn, and personally, Instagram.
Yeah.
See, I knew it.
Yes.
I knew you were on that. I got to start following you. I think I am following you.
All right, LinkedIn.
Yeah. All right. Well, once again, thank you guys for being here. Great show. Great humans.
Thank you, Brian.
Brian, thank you, sir.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you, Brian. It was a great conversation. Also, thanks to Morales HR and Stack Ventures, our generous sponsors.